Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Let's go!
A reminder to start off that the Florida Panthers first round pick that the Blackhawks acquired in the Seth Jones trade is unprotected.
What? Oh.
So it was Spencer Knight and a first round pick for Seth Jones. And the Florida Panthers currently sit last in the Eastern Conference.
No.
And I'm just saying it's unprotected.
No.
What do you mean?
It's not the Leafs. No.
You don't think that this, I mean, it could be a thing.
No. What I'm saying is we're not allowed to talk about it.
Oh, why are we not allowed to talk about
It's not the Leafs.
Oh, I think
They're the only fun team to make fun of.
I think we could talk about that. I mean, listen, do I believe that is going to be a top 10 pick when Tkachuk comes back? No. You look at their lineup. Let's see who's out. Tkachuk, Barkov, Kulikov, Gadjevich, Nosek, Luosterainen, Schwinn, and Verhaeghe. And I think Verhaeghe's day-to-day, so he should be coming back soon.
There was a snapshot. Excuse me. There was a snapshot. Wow. Great start, Steve. To at the beginning of the game of the Florida Panthers bench. And I was just looking and I'm like, I recognize one of these men.
Yeah. I mean, a few of them I was like, oh, they were players like Kunin. You know,
but not on the Panthers.
Noah Gregor was not regularly making the lineup in the playoffs last year. Now he's in the third round.
I'm going to ask a legitimate question. Did he play last night?
Yes, he did. And he was angry at the refs for something.
I watched the entire game. I did not notice.
You didn't notice? Well, he was there and he was upset about something that the ref didn't call or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Jack Devine and Jack Studnicka, I don't think played in the playoffs last year for at least against the Leafs.
Jack Studnicka, I know from his days with the Generals. That's it.
And AJ Greer was a fourth liner.
Yes.
When the Leafs were playing them. That is how injured the Panthers are. But, you know, as we always say, you can only play the team ahead of you.
Well, at some point, they're going to have to make their move. Right? Like, none of us believe they're going to end up there. None of us believe they're going to end up, like, do you?
No.
Yeah, I don't either. None of us believe that. But at some point, they're going to have to start winning.
Yeah.
And if they don't, that's going to become more and more of a story.
I just think like Patrick Waugh is listening to this segment and he's like, I can't hear what you're talking about this pick because the 2 Stanley Cups are plugging his ears. And
Patrick Waugh.
Like,
He's the guy who said it.
He's the guy who said it.
Oh, no. Okay, I get it. Sorry.
So I feel like the Seth Jones trade for the first round pick is so irrelevant because they won the Stanley Cup.
Right.
Steve, you're so traumatized. You said, I don't know if we can make fun of them for that because they're not the Leafs. I don't think Adam brought it up to make fun of them.
No,
it's a fact.
They did a fact.
But the fact isn't even like a sad fact because it worked out.
Right.
If they gave up the first overall pick, who gives a shit? That's a great decision. I would trade McKenna for a cup every day of the week.
100%.
If this isn't a make fun of them. This is you did the thing.
Yeah. Would you give up an all-time great?
Yeah.
For one cup?
Yep.
They got 2, by the way, but it was only 1 with this trade. Yeah, I would.
Your default, though, is like you hear this and you're like, oh, someone's going to make fun of me for this because I'm the Leafs.
Yeah.
And that's not the case with this team. This team does it.
The Blue Jays gave up famously Jeff Kent, who was a great player in the 90s, for the rest of the 90s, for Ricky Henderson. But what did it do? It won them a championship.
And there's a reason Adam said that, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, I also don't think you were the biggest baseball fan, especially a Giants. I think he was Giants when he was big. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, aren't the LA Clippers right now who are in a situation that's the worst situation I've ever seen in North American pro sports, where they could give up the first overall pick.
Oh, yeah.
For in a trade where they also gave up the MVP who won the OK City Thunder the championship last year, and they are MVP? Just won nothing out of that. They have never been past the second round with this Kawhi Paul George era, and they could also give up the first overall pick, and they also already gave up Shea, who won a championship.
It sort of reminds me of the beginning of the 80s, the Lakers were a good team, and then they ended up with the first overall pick anyway. I don't even know how, and then they got Magic Johnson. It's one of those
I haven't seen Showtime yet.
Oh, you got to see, it's crazy. Or even read the book. The book's even better. But it's like there is Jesse. They don't have a first round pick till 2030. Is it?
Yeah, their next one goes to OKC as well. Like, I think the 27 pick is also, I forget if there's protections on that one, but that one's also an OKC pick. And with the Clippers, like, they are, for any hockey fans, like, they're the Buffalo Sabres of this whole thing.
Yeah.
They've never won anything. They're always trying and they're always failing.
The closest comparable to their situation I can think of is Kessel for Sagan and Hamilton, and this is so much worse.
Yeah.
That, and think of how bad that was, how much it set the Leafs back, how well it set the Bruins up for the next decade of hockey, and this is still miles and mountains worse. Yeah.
They built another team's dynasty.
Yes.
And they have nothing to show for it other than a bunch of old injured guys.
Why, man? Why? You make me sad.
Yeah.
That makes me so sad.
Could be the worst free agent signing in the history of North American pro sports.
Yeah. It's in the conversation.
Because
Easily.
of the trade he made them make, right?
Exactly.
Because that was the thing. They didn't need to make that trade. No. And Doc Rivers called him apparently and said, Kawhi, this shy kid is really, really good. Like, you should just want to play with him. And he's like, no, get me Paul George. Get me noted playoff man, Paul George. And by the way, they sent Chris Paul home today.
Yeah.
Or
last night.
And he's like a Clippers legend. If there's one to be had. But why did they send him home? Is he just old now?
I think they stink and he wasn't helping. It's a very weird decision. We got to see what comes out of it through the reporting because it just happened last night. And Woj has got to, not Woj, Shams has got to write a piece on it now.
Maybe Woj comes out of retirement.
From his GM job at St. Bonaventure, I think it is. But it's crazy what's going on there. Not that.
Yes.
They won.
Yeah. And you know what? Listen, the Toronto Maple Leafs entered the game tied for last place. And they exited the game not tied for last place, not in second last place, but in third last place, everybody. Huge.
But they are
huge game.
They are as close to a playoff spot as they are to last place.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculously tight. No one's out of it. No one's even close to out of it in the East.
Yeah.
Like, so look at this.
So the Leafs are currently 4 points out of the last wild card spot, and that is a tie between the Islanders, Pittsburgh Penguins, and Flyers. There's a tiebreak there's a tiebreak, Pittsburgh and Philly, and then Philly's played 2 less games than the New York Islanders, and that's why it's that way. But regardless, or it's regulation wins, right, Jesse? That's
points percentage.
Yeah. No, but I mean Pittsburgh and Philly. Isn't it regulations wins versus wins or something like that?
Oh, for Pittsburgh and Philly, the R-dubs.
Yeah.
So the 12, they have 12 regulation wins to the Flyers 7.
Of Philadelphia's wins, by the way, of the 14 that they have, 7 of them have been in overtime, that means. So they've gone to overtime 10 times in 25 games this year because they've lost 3 and they've only won 7 in regulation. Isn't that crazy?
This league has an overtime problem.
Yeah,
a little bit.
This year, I can bring up the stats. It's in my email somewhere from the NHL stats department. This year, as of, it was like last week, they sent it out. They've had more overtime games, more games that resulted in 3 points than ever in the history of hockey since they've had this.
Wow.
It is, if it seems like everything is tight and going to OT, it's true. It is factual information.
Is there going to be a 100-point non-playoff team?
Oh,
good question.
No, my bet.
I don't think so.
It'd be too close.
What is the record for the most points?
Calgary had 96 last year.
Right.
And they didn't make it.
Like 96 should get you in.
Yeah.
Most years.
Yep.
I would love to know, and I know Jesse's on the case.
I can tell you.
Like Paw Patrol.
That's
Paw Patrol.
It's
there on the double.
I don't know. Is it a problem? Is it an overtime problem, or is it just an overtime? This is the way it's happened this year.
No, okay. I have zero problem with games going to overtime. Overtime is a lot of fun. The shootout is better than a tie, I guess. But it's not represented in the point system at all.
No, you're right.
The players keep saying it should be 3-2-1. Like, okay, you showed the standings there.
I don't understand why anybody wants a point for losing. I still don't understand.
Well, a point for, because there's no ties anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really love the idea of getting 0 points for forcing a game to the shootout.
Right.
And, so, okay, you get 1.
Yeah.
Wins are 3. Like, I keep bringing up Vegas and the fact that they get all these overtime and shootout losses. They got a shootout win yesterday. But, like, looking at the East standings there, Boston has 15 wins.
Right.
That's a lot of wins at this point in the year, and it should be enough to get you in the playoffs. but they committed the cardinal sin of not losing a single game in overtime of the shootout, which is that's the only reason.
Right.
Now you could flip that and be like, well, they're failing to force things to overtime of the shootout. But I think 3-2-1 sorts a lot of this out.
2 things there. One, based on my quick research there, I believe 96 points is the record. So Calgary tied the record. Boston, Montreal, and Florida, all in separate years, also missed the playoffs with 96 points. So a couple teams have done it before.
Wow.
Okay. So your 100-point thing isn't far off. That's literally 2 more wins, and like things work out in different ways, and 100 points could not make you the playoffs. It's weird.
Like, I still remember, the Leafs with their first 100-point season in franchise history. Like, some team is going to have one of their best seasons ever, miss the playoffs.
Yeah, because of all these 3-point games. And second thing, I assume you didn't see, or maybe you did see, Shayna Goldman wrote about the 3-2-1 system yesterday.
No.
Really? Yesterday? Yeah, in The Athletic.
Wow.
She did a whole article on the 3-2-1 system. It's what we learned about the NHL in November, the need for the 3-2-1 point system now. And I can show you the standings based on it, because she had the little graphic in her article. Everybody go read it in The Athletic. Subscribe to their great news organization.
There's Boston.
This is what the standings would look like as of yesterday morning with the 3-2-1 system.
Right. I'm annoyed by that because the Leafs would still be in second last place.
Yeah.
I feel like Shayna needs to adjust her attitude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vegas, you were talking about the other day about how they've been feasting on some of the overtime wins.
Yeah.
They've actually moved up in the standings because of the 3-2-1.
This is why you don't. Why is it not wins and losses? Like, why can't we be a real league? The NBA, it's wins and losses. The NFL, it's wins and losses. Baseball, it's wins and losses, and you can tie, by the way, in the NFL. But what? I don't understand. Why do you get a point for playing an extra 5 minutes? It doesn't make any sense.
I don't like the idea of you get nothing for forcing a game to 3-on-3 overtime or the shootout.
Why?
If that makes sense. Well,
I don't like it. Well, you have to explain yourself.
Damn.
I don't think you expected a follow-up.
No, I didn't.
What am I supposed to say to that?
No, okay. A 3-on-3 overtime victory or a shootout victory is not equal to a regulation victory.
Yeah, but we know why it's 3-on-3 overtime. It's to make it more exciting,
right,
and end the game quickly.
Yes. So I think a good compromise to that is the 3-2-1.
Oh, okay.
What is not an adequate compromise is these are equal.
See, here's what I'd tell you. In every other league, if it goes to overtime and one team loses, they don't get shit.
Yeah, too bad.
And it's crazy.
Too bad. So sad.
Man, cry about it.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, not every. It's the NBA doesn't go to 3-on-3, but the NBA also doesn't have scoring problems like the NHL has had so monstrously in the past, right? And so I look at this and I go, okay, nobody feels good about walking away from a game with a point that you didn't win. Right. Nobody feels good about it. So my suggestion is, as a compromise, you get Lindor Lints on as a sponsor, and you give them a nice chocolate for losing afterwards. And that is it. That's all you fucking get. You get one of those nice chocolates.
Wow.
You put them in your cheek, and then they kind of melt, and then it's delicious. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You're like, oh, man, okay, I feel a little bit better now. Like, after Harry saw those Dementors, and then you eat chocolate, and then you're fine. Mm-hmm. And I beyond that, you don't deserve anything else. Nothing. Make it simple. Make it easy for average people who are not following the game as closely as we are to get it.
Yeah.
How many wins do you have? But you don't understand OTLs. Shut the fuck up.
You know how many Americans saw this kind of energy at Thanksgiving a few days ago?
Yeah, I know.
The 3-2-1 system, I do worry, would complicate things for a person who's not following as closely.
How the fuck do you explain that?
Yeah. For somebody who doesn't really care about hockey but wants to just look at the standings and doesn't really understand, or they're just at a game and they're not a fan and they're like, oh, so they get 2 points for this and 1 for that?
So, Jesse, that's actually a very good point. Mm-hmm. And I'd like to speak to anyone who has that concern and let them know that those people are already lost. They're already lost, and that's how lost the NHL is. They don't even know that. Like, in my anecdotal market research, people don't. I wish I got asked more questions like, what do you think of this Nyes kid? Mm-hmm. Well, what do you think of this Cowan kid? Mm-hmm. Right? Stuff like that. I get asked, more frequently than anything else. How does this work?
Like basic rules questions.
Yes.
Because it's so complicated already.
Yes.
Yeah.
The NHL, I don't think appreciates the kind of question a really casual fan. Someone asked me today, based on our conversation from last episode about Sidney Crosby and Alex Ovechkin all time, they're like, what is the difference between goals and points? It's that basic. Mm-hmm. Now, some of you, because you're listening to a hockey podcast, that means you're a hardcore hockey fan, are going to say, screw those people, leave them behind. And I am here to tell you, you need those people. They have money also. Mm-hmm. And it's something that the NHL lacks. So if you change the rules, to me, those people aren't going to be any more lost than they already are. They're already lost.
Okay. Right. Well, I feel like you could just simply go wins and losses. And that would be my next question for Shayna for The Athletic.
Do you want her to weigh in on this 3-2-1 system? Because her idea about it was to reduce the overtime games. So I can give you her opinion.
Yeah, of course. I want to hear that.
Because that's where this thing originally started, the amount of 3-point games that we have.
Right.
So Shayna wrote, a 3-2-1 point system wouldn't have that radical of an impact on the standings. And that's important here. The idea isn't to overhaul a system that has worked for years. It's to tweak it to better reflect which teams win games in a traditional 60-game setting before the beautiful chaos that is 3-on-3 hockey and the shootout. And this year's emphasis on overtime is the perfect time to bring this discussion back to the forefront. So she goes through the standings. The Capitals, who have 14 regulation wins compared to the Hurricanes, 11, Devils is 10, would slide into first place in the Metro. With only 8 regulation wins this year, the Senators would move further out of the wildcard picture. The top 3 teams of the Central Division standings would remain intact. The Pacific, despite 8 loser points that actually currently make up 27% of their 30 points, the Golden Knights' 10 regulation wins would move them into first in the Pacific. So the way the standings would look now is you're rewarding teams for winning in regulation.
Right.
And now, Adam, somebody who believes that it should be wins and losses, is that important to you?
It's more important than what it's got right now. I think she's onto something there. I do. It's right there, man. It's wins and losses.
Allow me to talk
Who cares about a point system?
Allow me to talk it at both sides of my mouth, because I was talking about you need those people too. What they have currently is pro-business, but anti-sporting. You are rewarding shitty teams by artificially keeping it close.
Yes.
Right? So Vegas, I've been talking about, they have all these loser points. Well, they're not losing in regulation at all, right? This is what she's got. A few of the teams that moved up, I'm like, this actually makes sense. Look how much higher the Panthers are.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Golden Knights, the Capitals.
The Sens are your good example for the team that has been feasting on the loser point, and they drop way down in the Eastern Conference if you take away all of those 2 and 1 point games that they get in overtime.
Yeah, but it's not in the NHL's best interest to have more integrity as a sporting league. They're trying to keep this artificially close. They're trying to have high ratings in March and high ratings in April, and have all the games matter leading into the playoffs, but just know.
So you devalue your own wins.
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
I think
that's the craziest part. We watered down wins.
The system
wins
we
don't
have
pay the
now
bills.
is the worst one we have.
Yeah.
I think the 2 options that should be ahead of our current system would be wins and losses or 3-2-1.
Yeah.
Both of those are better than what we
have.
And I guess that's the third best choice.
And I guarantee you, we will switch to the more complicated option once Gary's gone. Gary's stuck on this. I also think another thing that's going to happen as soon as Gary's gone is they're going to go back to the 1-8 seeding in playoffs. I have no question in my mind that Gary, I think, is the last holdout. I don't know if Bill Daly thinks for himself, but there's no way when Bill Daly takes over that Gary Bettman is going to keep that, allow that to stay in. There's no way. There's no way, because people are going to be like, Bill, everybody wants this but Gary, and Gary isn't here anymore. Bill.
Right.
Change it now.
I think that's more to Steve's point about the average fan. I think the way the playoffs are organized with the ridiculous wild card division thing is so complicated. And 1-8 is how everybody does things in sports. And it's like, why not just have that? And with the division winners and all that, you can have their automatic playoff berth because that's kind of how things work. But the 1-8, and I think that just needs to go back to what it is.
You can be third in your division, so third in the Atlantic, lose a game, and a few teams beneath you win a game, and you are out of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And I got news for you. A ton of hockey fans don't get that.
Yeah.
Now, I was 6th that I dropped to 9th. Everyone gets that. 9 lower than 6.
Yep.
People get it. They get it. Again, I don't. I've asked this question before in different contexts. I'd love to know, like, I like to picture a person when I'm shooting my videos post-game. Like, I just kind of pick a person and I make them up. Who does the NHL picture is sitting in their seats? Who does the NHL picture is sitting at home? Who does the NHL picture is, like, I would be like, Gary, have you ever tried to sign into a streaming service? Turn on a game?
No. He has people for that.
Right.
Somebody does that for him.
You ever got that QR code out? And you when you're logging in, it's like, well, I can use my remote.
Yeah.
Go at one character at a time where I can use the QR code for simple log.
Gary, have you ever been asked to have you ever been asked to scan a QR code with your phone on the screen that your phone is using and wanted to throw it into the fire? Gary, like, this is what I'm saying. You gotta, it's anti-sporting and everything's complicated. And
last thing on the standings, just to finalize that point about the 1-8 seeding, the Detroit Red Wings are currently the 9th seed in the Eastern Conference based on points, which is organized that way. They sit 3rd in the Atlantic. And
awesome.
And they're in a very comfy playoff spot up there in 3rd in the Atlantic Division. But they are the 9th seed in the Eastern Conference. And they are costing the New York Islanders, who are 7th in the conference, a playoff spot.
Yeah, and they shouldn't.
It's ridiculous. You have the 9th seed in over the 7th seed.
So the way it used to be is 1, 2, 3 was the division leaders. Because there used to be 6 divisions. Now there's 4. But yeah, even under the old way, they would be out. That's crazy.
And they're
silly.
3rd. It's silly.
That's
wow.
Yeah. It's and how is anyone? My parents, I'll just say Tina and Gary, have no shot.
The Ottawa Senators, who are 2nd in the Atlantic, they're the 2 seed in the Atlantic. They would host home playoff games, the first series, as the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. Wow. They currently sit 8th in the Eastern Conference and would get home playoff dates in the first round. That's a broken system.
That's made up nonsense. Yeah.
I think it's stupid too. Flatlantic is the name. It's the Flatlantic today. Hey, thank you. Hey, you know what? You know what's time for before we get into the Leafs? The Ready, Set, Forward Performance of the Night. Time for your Ready, Set, Forward Performance of the Night, brought to you by the F-150.
Steve barely had his headphones.
Yeah, I know. Listen. I like to surprise you.
No time to waste.
I need you on your toes. Jesse is not going to pick from the Leafs game because he's dangerous.
Yeah, I feel like we should take this to use this as an opportunity to shout out the other 31
But
teams.
the Leafs aren't in last place anymore, and I don't feel like you're celebrating that enough.
Yeah, we're going to spend an hour talking about that.
We need to. No, okay, go ahead, because I think Jesse made the right choice.
I'm going to go with Jesper Wallstedt, who had another.
You didn't. I thought you were going Bedard.
I assume we'll talk about Bedard too.
Wow.
I want to go with Jesper. What is wrong with? Nobody wants to shout out Jesper.
No.
Listen, he's not Nosper Wallstedt. He's Jesper Wallstedt. So I'm with it.
We got to start calling him the Wall of St. Paul. I saw that tweet. That's very good.
Yeah.
Last night, shutout, 33 saves, 33 shots, stopped them all. That's his 4th shutout of the season. 5 of his 10 career wins are shutouts.
Yeah.
He is shooting 50% on shutouts.
A few weeks ago, I would have said Matthew Schaefer is winning the Calder in a walk. not so fast.
We got
Wallstedt, man.
We got to have a conversation about who really is the front runner for the Calder, because what he's doing is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And same with Matthew Schaefer.
Yeah.
It's a 2-horse race that's really tight right now. Anyway, shout out Jesper, even though Adam and Steve hate him.
No, I don't.
What? The Wall of St. Paul.
The hilarious thing about that is obviously he was a Oilers draft pick that they traded 2 places down, and the Wild selected him, and then the Oilers got some guy.
I don't like that narrative, because you can do that with every pick in the draft.
But I'm going to.
Yeah, but it's
against Edmonton. And it's only, see, if it was the Panthers, as Steve said earlier, it wouldn't be funny.
Let's be honest, they would have wrecked him.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. It's a good point. Okay, so, Steve, who are you going with?
Bobby McMahon,
Yes.
because I called him out while the Leafs were playing terribly. They have since turned it around, and the third line has turned it around, and Bobby McMahon has turned it around. After going pointless for several games, he looks like a legitimate third liner. He's grinding, he's working hard, but he's also got back-to-back multi-point games. A goal, 3 assists, +4 in his last 2 games. Heck yeah, Bobbert McMobbert.
I like that. I like that a lot. I was going to go Leafs on this one. I'm going to say, I think Connor Bedard deserves a shout out, but we're going to give him a whole segment later. So we'll talk about that, especially with what Darren Dreger said about him this morning. And that's the T.
Ooh.
That's the T. But
It's the D.
I'm going to give my shout out to Scott Laughton.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm going to give it to Scott Laughton is he was asked the other day by Mark Masters, hey, Scott, how do you feel about the puck not going in for you? And you have to remember, this guy's played maybe 7 games this season, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know. I just feel like, things are, eventually it'll go in, whatever. And of course, doesn't he score the next game and says to Mark Masters on TSN during a TSN broadcast, you got me going there, Mark. I appreciate it. He seems like the best human being. But beyond that, him coming back into this lineup has been an absolute revelation. Anybody that's still saying that they're mad about the Scott Laughton trade, with respect, you're not watching hockey. I know you're not watching the games. I know for sure you're not watching shorthanded opportunities. The Leafs penalty kill over the last 5 to 7 games has been unbelievable.
And the big difference is
Scott Laughton.
Guess who came back?
And guess who doesn't have to play a ton of shorthanded minutes now because of it?
Austin, and he looks much better.
Doesn't he? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And I just think Scott Laughton getting a goal is not really his game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's the 4th line center, but he has been extraordinarily valuable and extraordinarily useful. And I say that as a guy who was against the Scott Laughton trade in the first place.
I was against it for years. Because he was rumored for years.
Right.
And we should all get Fords.
Yeah.
Well, we can still we're having the debate. I guess we'll have the debate. All right. So listen, Ford F-150 trim. You want to get one.
I think Adam forgot he had to wrap the segment.
No, I was really enjoying where we were going with that conversation because I'm calling out all the Laughton haters. Ford.ca/F150 to build out your Tremor. It's all about the interior space in the urban jungle, or maybe the rural jungle, wherever you live. So as I was saying, Scott Laughton was excellent last night and has been excellent, and I'm really sick and tired of people dogging this guy. Now, listen, go look up how many games Nikita Gurbenkin has played. You want to be mad about Fraser Minten, I get it. But I just want to remind everybody that this team, as bad as they have been, finally has 4 centers.
Yes.
They, during the Matthews era, had 2 centers most of the time, and Alex Kerfoot. They had no depth. They had no semblance of any sort of reliable option south of John Tavares for 6 years. And they tried a million different things, and the cap was flat, and they didn't have the money, and blah, 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 and David Kampf and everything. But they finally have 4 guys, and the 4 guys were major factors last night. And we'll start, I guess, with the fact, I've started with Scott Laughton because we were talking about it in the Ford segment. But this comes to a line that the Leafs have not really had an identity in a long time since Kadri left, which is their third line. Nick Waugh, Dakota Joshua, and Bobby McMahon. You're probably like, wow, Waugh and Joshua, not the fastest guys, but Bobby McMahon is, and he makes up for it.
Yes.
And Bobby McMahon, who was also your pick for Ready, Set, Forward pick of the night. Yep. Bobby McMahon has allowed Joshua and Waugh to play their games. Dakota Joshua opened the scoring last night. It's 2 goals in 2 games since a healthy scratch. And
open the scoring for that line.
Sorry, for that line, yeah.
Yeah.
That line
Sort of.
looks like you have to remember our third line last year, if you were to believe it was a third line, was McMahon, Domi, Robertson.
On a lot of nights, yeah. And that's I wouldn't even consider that an adequate fourth line on this team.
No,
I wouldn't. And it's nothing.
And that team was better than this team.
It's nothing against any of those players. Domi looks so much better on the wing, which, man, if only anyone had predicted that would be the case. Robertson's having a really good year. He was effective again last night. And McMahon is also doing really well in their own roles. To McMahon's credit, there were a lot of times where he was put in the top 6, and I was like, he doesn't quite work because he's not the top scoring option on that line. He's got to be the mucker and grinder, and that's just not what he is. It's taken a solid year of working at it, but he's finally kind of become that player without losing his sparkle, without losing the things that got him in the league in the first place, which is his shot and his speed. Joshua is playing like the player who was advertised. Was playing like the player who was advertised. There is a reason we were shocked and disappointed with the Leafs' performance the first 2 months. It's because we knew all 3 of these players were capable of this. They're finally together and they're finally doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to win more games than you lose if this is how they play every night.
Jesse, when you saw the Troy Stecher goal go in, this is a guy, I believe, who's got 5 points since joining the Leafs in 4 games.
I just checked. I'm still surprised it counts as his goal.
I thought it was Waz's goal.
I've watched the replay 100 times. I swear it's Waz, but
and it does get redirected.
It must have gone off the. There's a Panthers defender coming in. I don't know who it is, and their stick is coming down, and I guess they think he hit it, but whatever.
Yeah, I definitely didn't think it was his goal, but I guess he'll take it, and we'll take it. Who cares whose goal it was at the end of the day? They won, and it was a good goal.
Yeah.
One PSA on Stecher before actually commenting on his game. Did everybody collectively imagine the second T in his name? Everybody spells his name wrong.
Oh.
Stecher.
Yeah, everybody. First of all, everybody says it wrong. They add that second T. And
Stecher?
Stecher. There's no, that's Stecher. Everybody spells it with that other T.
I had, what? You made that up.
What do you mean?
You're lying.
There's only one T. It's Stecher.
Stecher.
It's Stecher. It's not Stecher.
Oh.
But everybody says Stecher and writes it with 2 T's.
See, this is where I need the spelling bee. What is its origin? Is it German? Is it Stecker?
I don't know. I'm not sure. All I know is every time I see it written, everybody's using 2 T's in his name.
All right.
I definitely thought it was 2 T's.
You sound confused, but is that not how you thought it was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Even on the first place I noticed where everybody's using it was on our poll on the stream last night. Justin wrote who's going to win the Norris, and it was Stecher, and the other option was Murmis or whatever, and he wrote it with 2 T's.
And Justin's ridiculously good with that.
Yeah.
That's wow.
Adam, how did you think it was spelled?
I assumed it was Stetecher.
There's no other T.
Wow. It's just, people call Chris Johnson. It's actually Chris Johnston.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's ever pointed that out.
Well, because not every Johnston
is a T.
Pronounces it that way.
Yeah. Well, maybe Troy's CH is a T. Have we asked him? It'd
be great if he's it's actually
Liljegren.
Yeah.
That's how you pronounce it.
Hall. Troy Hall.
We got to talk about that one day.
He looks great.
Who? Timothy? No, Stecher.
I haven't seen him.
Yeah, no, I don't. Really
Stecher looks.
Yeah, I think it's 4 points in his last 5 games. And here's the key in the consistent part, Jess. As I throw back to you here, is he's won all of his minutes. His advanced numbers are crazy. Throw them up. You got
Troy. A quick just Twitter search of this Stecher with another T. Every hockey account, spells it with the 2 T's. There's no other T there.
And his jersey's right there.
It's his jersey.
Oh
there.
Yeah, it's in the front.
Everybody thinks there's 2 T's.
Chicklets, you dumb idiots. Chicklets.
The better option is the Leafs misspelled it. That'd be funny.
I don't know how we all imagine 2 T's, but it's a thing. Anyway,
that's a Mandela effect.
It is. It's gotta be.
What?
Yeah.
There's never been another T. There's been 1 T in his name. Anyway, sorry. I needed to get that out there.
No, you did.
Because we have the platform to get that out there. he has been so good on the Leafs. It shocks me that he was available for free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It shocks me at how good he is moving the puck. As a right-handed defenseman, that is something that is so rare in this league. A guy who's a little undersized, I think we'd all admit that.
Yeah.
He's not the Brad Treliving defenseman that he usually goes out and gets.
No.
But he's so quick on his feet, and you notice him amongst the other defensemen because he is so much quicker than the other guys.
Well, he's not an idiot, right? Like when he was coming in and everyone's like, yeah, he's going to be the guy who moves the puck. He's going to be okay. All I'm hearing, this guy moves the puck so well. Why was he on waivers?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's going to be taking a bunch of unnecessary risks and oh my God, and he's going to get cleaned out. And no, he's exactly what the doctor ordered. Like I've been screaming to do something and it's not just about like the home run swings. Like one of the trades that we keep referencing is the Habs getting Carrier last year and it changed their season. Like there's the team that they were before they got him and the team that they became after they got him. And for whatever reason, it was the bay leaf in the recipe that changed the flavor of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You just went, and it made it beautiful and everyone loved it. Stetcher, so far, it's very early days. They're still not in a playoff spot. We all know, but he's been that.
Well, I listen, if you're expecting Troy Stetcher to put you in the playoffs, then you got a bad team. But what I will say is Troy Stetcher, what the reasons why he was let go from Edmonton, obviously Emberson and Kulak are there. Like they've had some guys kind of emerge and Stetcher was always sort of on the outside looking in, even during the playoffs, whatever, doesn't matter.
Emberson's younger.
The point is,
for him.
it might just be a function of how bad the Leafs defense was. And,
it's definitely that.
And look at that, they've got a puck moving defenseman who's now worked his way into the top 4. And it's amazing just what a puck-moving defenseman can do. Now, we know Tanev and Carlo are going to be out a while. We don't know how long. But when they come back, is Simon Benoit the 7th guy? Because you could put Carlo and Stetcher together. You could put, they both shoot right. But you know what I mean? Like, oh man, imagine you have too many right shot options.
Last night,
what a crazy problem to have.
Last night, Benoit jumped up in the rush.
Yes.
And Mike Johnston was like, oh, look at Benoit. Like,
he's been active lately.
He does that all the time. Like he did that going back to last year. Go back and watch Domi's OT winner from game 2 against the Sens. It's Benoit randomly deciding, I'm Nick Lidstrom. Right? He loves jumping up in the rush. He just doesn't have the ability that some of these other guys do. I think it'll be a rotation, which is what
a good team does.
Good teams have.
And you wanted the numbers, like everything you watching the game, you're like, oh, that's one of the most impactful games, defensemen that the Leafs have. The numbers back that up too. His on ice goals percentage when he's playing on the ice with the Toronto Maple Leafs, 63.2%.
That's crazy.
That leads all defensemen. He's at a higher clip right now than Chris Tanev was when he was in the lineup, which was at 60%. So he's leading all defensemen there with the Toronto Maple Leafs on ice goals percentage for.
Also,
it's unreal.
Yeah, he's crazy. He's crazy, and I think
some of those numbers are heinous.
Yeah, well, I think
God,
it's the fact that the Leafs had too much of one thing.
Yeah,
it was like here's Benoit, and here's a lesser version of Benoit, and here's a lesser version of that Benoit, right? And I like Simon Benoit a lot, but we don't need 4 of them.
Yeah, like you look at that number, Steve, because you glance at the chart, and it's Benoit, Mermis, Myers just down there at 41, 33, and 25%.
And is that their fault?
Like
that's not their fault. They signed the contracts that were offered them.
Myers, like credit where credit's due. Like I think Mermis has got his season back on track. I liked his last few games that he played. Myers needed the hardest of hard resets because last year he was a perfectly serviceable guy. And it got to the point where I and a lot of Leafs Nation was like, get him off the ice, get him off the roster, send him to Madagascar. Oh my God. And he's looked downright fine, which is all we ask of a 7th or 8th defenseman.
Yeah.
Go in there, be fine.
Yeah.
Don't be a complete liability.
And they weren't. Myers wasn't last night. He was okay.
He was fine.
You know what I know? Philip Myers has had a good game. I don't know that he's playing.
Yep.
That's a good game for Philip Myers.
Yep.
Nothing happened. Great. Just be neutral.
Sometimes, in the car on the way here, I was thinking about the LFR last night, and I was like, I don't know if I talked enough about Domi. And another voice in my head went, good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He was dynamic, made a few nice passes, didn't screw anything up.
Yeah. Forces a couple plays sometimes. I'm like, Max, just hold the puck. You're good. Okay. You don't have to force it.
That's okay. He did more good than bad.
Go back to the Leafs depth for a second here. Over the last 3 games, Nicholas Watt and Dakota Joshua have taken 29 faceoffs. Okay. 22 of them have been in the defensive zone. 6 have been in the neutral zone. 1 in the offensive zone.
Be still my beating heart.
And one thing that's really stuck out for me in Nick Waugh's play is that, there were questions about what position he was going to play. Was he going to be a winger? Because coming into this season, he was in the low 40s in terms of success in the faceoff thing. And one thing that I really agree with the Leafs on is they've always valued faceoff winners. And last night alone, he won 80%, 12 of 15. He's in the high 50s this year.
I love him.
I love him too.
Really like him.
Yeah, and the other thing I noticed about Nick Waugh is body positioning. He's always sort of in the right place. And when they go into board battles, which is something I thought was major for the Leafs last night, he always knows where to put his body, even if he's got 2 guys on him, he's not going to win every battle, but in order for giving him the best opportunity to win those battles. And I thought, Jesse, last night, one of the things that stuck out was every single line was winning board battles.
Yeah, and it's not something we've seen very often from the Leafs. It's them being able to retrieve pucks, when they're loose out in front and they go behind the boards or wherever it is. Like, they have struggled with that. And last night we saw the Leafs play a game that was efficient and take advantage of a team that they needed to, because Florida wasn't playing well coming into this. And they did everything that was asked of them. Yeah. Like, that's how Craig Berube wants them to play hockey. And that's why I was so adamant on, it's the players and not the coach, because he's asking them to do these things. And last night's game, they do the things and they execute. And what do they get? A very dominant win, start to finish win.
Another guy I didn't mention yesterday, but just the little things. How about Nick Robertson on the 3-1 goal?
Oh, yeah. I wanted to get to that.
Great on that.
Beating and cleaning out Gus Forsling.
Can we get the goal tracker on that? Because this play, so the Bobby McMahon play that leads to the first goal, that's all, well, it's not Bobby that scores it, but that's all Bobby.
Oh, yeah.
The Troy Stecher goal, right?
Well, and it's Bobby does all the puck work, and it's Waugh and Joshua being nightmares in front of the net.
And then on this one, it's Robertson, whose skating has been, I can't believe how fast his bursts are now.
He's 24.
He's like he swallows one of those Mario stars and he's gone. And that was not a part of his game.
Him coming into the NHL at 18 was fun and interesting, and we were looking for anything to make us feel, because it was COVID. It shouldn't have ever happened. And then he goes to the AHL earlier than he should have because of the special exception rule, and he kept getting hurt. I'm afraid to even say it out loud, but he's been able to play.
He's been a player.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
He's been able to play.
Healthy.
Weirdly. No! Shut up! He's been health adjacent, and he's gotten better as a young player. This is a guy who can shoot like that he just turned 24. You don't give up on that player. Historically, we've had the conversation on the show, like, should they, shouldn't they? Historically, most guys around the league, you don't give up on them, especially when you used a second rounder on them.
And there was nothing you were going to get back that was going to be significant. Like
Yegor Chinakhov.
Right. Imagine you do that deal. Look how dumb you'd look now. You don't just sell him for nothing. And I'm so happy they didn't do that. So let's take a look at this play, because I want everybody to see the visuals of where, if you are listening or if you are watching right now, of where Nick Robertson is and where Gus Forsling is and how he tracks him down. So the puck's going all the way to the other end of the ice. Nick Robertson is this little blurry dot there. That's him. And Gus Forsling is the guy ahead of him who's also going down for the puck. And Nick Robertson outskates him, chases him down, has more hustle, and then here when they get up along the boards, he uses his body against a man who's probably double his size to get the puck off of the boards and win this play that leads directly to the goal. So there it is. He wins that little battle, hustling from the other side of the ice to get this puck and start this play on the offensive zone for the Leafs, who then finish it off with the Lawton goal here out in front. That's all Nick Robertson making that goal happen. It's such an impressive play, and that stuff Craig Berube loves. And like, how do you look at that and not say like Nick Robertson is an important piece of this team?
Oh, I mean, I wasn't sure how he'd fit in on the fourth line. One thing I will say is that when you're
guy.
Yeah, well, right. Well, when you're fourth line, Nick Robertson, what is your role, right? And I felt like that was the role. And when you're smaller, one thing, like if you're standing still in front of the net, like I saw Troy Stetcher go up against some goon from the Panthers. I can't even remember. He got moved, right?
It was funny. I know what you're talking about.
If you're standing still, it's harder to move somebody. If you're in full flight, the way Nick Robertson and Gus Forsling are, you can actually, that sort of balances out a little bit the distribution of weight. And so he was able to, and I saw Matt Nyes do this a couple times too, to use the power of the butt. It seems like the Leafs are butt cheeking their way into certain things. And Matthews did it too.
But Matthews, like half-heartedly, you couldn't even call it a hit, but he knocked someone on their ass.
Those two guys you're naming, though, are triple Nick Robertson size.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the important thing. Austin Matthews is a huge dude.
Yes.
Very big.
Matthew Nyes is a huge dude. Nick Robertson's a tiny little human.
Yeah.
And he's able to, with his skill and that aggressiveness that he had going to the corner and the bottom strength that he had there, battle Gus Forsling. And look how happy he is that this goal went in. Like, he is celebrating like they won the Stanley Cup. This is him there. That's Lawton who scored.
Lawton's pumping
and
that fist.
They're so happy that they got this 3-1 goal. And I'll show you this angle too. He goes into Lawton for this giant hug. And he knows how much he worked for that. He knows how important Lawton's first goal is for the season there. This is what we want to see. Only one T in Stetcher. Lawton scoring. Robertson there on top of his game being so happy. This was a fun Leafs game.
Yeah.
If you hadn't told me that, Jesse, I'd be like, hey, did the Leafs misspell Stetcher's name on his jersey last night? I'm serious. It looks so weird. This is all I'm going to notice for the rest of the year. I'm not even going to be watching the games.
There's one T in Stetcher.
There will be no puck when he's on the
Not Stetcher.
It's Stecker.
But it should be. Stecker. There you go. Troy Stecker. Now, on the higher end part of things, like and at least in the forwards, what was funny to me,
the guys who are getting paid $10 million plus.
Yeah, and they got themselves an empty net goal. We haven't forgotten about you. But what I thought was interesting about the whole game was that they didn't need to be as engaged, and yet there were still opportunities that they created that they just didn't convert on. I think Nylander is fighting something.
He took the night off. Like
he was not.
He went out there to just go get his legs moving.
He was a random man.
But Easton Cowan's he's just like a motor, just keeps going.
Cowan did fine, but there were moments where I was like, he's afraid to get hit, and also he's correct to have that veer.
Right? Yeah. The Matthews line, I still think they're going to need a few games, but I do see the vision there. And Drager said it on the intermission, and we've said it on this show. Somebody needs to get Austin the puck. He's been feeding, like he fed John Tavares last night. He fed Matthew Nyes a couple times.
Yep.
Austin needs to get some pucks, man. Like that's got to be the number one priority of this team. Very clearly, they have an open spot in that top six if Max Domi doesn't work out. So what I'm saying to Max Domi is this is the opportunity of a lifetime and make this happen. Find this guy. And he seems like he's doing it, but he's not afraid when it's a 2-on-1 to shoot the damn puck too.
Mm-hmm. Which is good. And I know he got stopped, but that was the right move in that moment. Berube doesn't need Matthews to score 70 goals. He needs Matthews to win his minutes, right? He needs his line to be better. He won a Stanley Cup with guys who were nowhere close to Matthews' top ability. I I would like people to open up their mind with Auston Matthews to the idea that he's a different player than he was, not worse, but different, and being used totally differently. I get frustrated when he's on the ice too. And I miss the player that he used to be because it was a lot of fun. But I don't think he's trying to be that anymore, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, is it like the I forgive the comparison because they're not apples to apples, but it's sort of like the star player that scores a bunch that finally learns, hey, if I play more of a team game, I'm not going to win scoring titles, but I might win a championship or I might win a couple of rounds.
And there are times where this backfires. I was going to say Michael
Jordan, but everybody don't hate me for that. But there was that thing in the documentary where he's like, comes out of the 80s, he's always leading the league in scoring.
Right.
But then the coach says to him, listen, like if we can play a different offense and you dish a little bit more, team's going to win.
This isn't, again, an apples to apples comparison, but one of the things I saw come up in the Matthews discourse was they're like, here's when Dale Hunter got a hold of Alex Ovechkin and made him commit to defense. Mm-hmm. And they just showed his statistical season. And it's far and away the worst season of his NHL career. Mm. Like, we'll be able to look back on it when he retires and go, what happened here? Mm-hmm. Like, he had seasons where he broke his leg and came back and was better than this. What happened? And it's the coach misused him. You could argue Berube's doing that with Matthews, but if this keeps going in the right direction, I'll be a lot more open to the idea that this is what will help bring you success.
Do people start murmuring more about that $13.25 million if Auston Matthews isn't going to go out there and put up 60 goals?
It began 6 weeks ago. There's no murmuring. 13.
Because that's what you're paying for. We're not paying you to be. We're paying you to be great defensively, right? But we also are paying on top of that for 60 goals, 50 plus goals.
I was talking to a friend last night, and I was like, you know what, Matthews looks good tonight, and he goes, "Oh, did that Judd Moldaver check clear?"
Oh, wow, wow!
I was like, "Damn."
Steve did it.
Well, no.
Wow, did Judd stiff you?
I could have, he did.
Wow, what a shame.
He did. He stiffed me on the money he never agreed to give me, unfortunately, just like the Saudis.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a large complaint from this fan base.
Well, so I was like, he's good. He was generating chances. I liked his game. And he's like, he used to be in the conversation with McDavid and McKinnon, right? And I was like,
Yeah.
Well, when you put it that way.
The goal that Connor Bedard scored last night, where he just wrist one from the slot past Carter Hart, that used to be Matthews like every other night.
Yes.
And I missed that. I watched Bedard do that, and I was like, I wish Austin was doing that consistently this year, and he's not, and hasn't for a little bit, and that concerns me.
And that happened last year, but there were two very important caveats. He's hurt. They're winning. So
last year.
Yeah. So we were like it wasn't nearly as big a story. We're like, something's off, but like
he had to go to Germany. Like, we can forgive him.
He went to Germany. He's laying a lot of hits. I like the way he's playing defensively. Like, it's not like bad things are happening when he's on the ice. Marner's, he had the best season of his career. Mm-hmm. Nyes had a season that got him a ton of money. Everything's fine. Mm-hmm. Then this season arrived. Mm-hmm. And we're all like, does he suck? Like, people, like, I've seen the discourse around him is visceral, and it's not anger toward him. It's straight up mourning. Like, it's people going, oh my God, the greatest Leaf of all time is no more. And I'm just not ready to write that eulogy yet, especially because since coming back from his most recent thing, and even before the most recent thing, I thought he looked a lot more like old Austin. Last night, I thought he looked a little, most of the way to being old Austin. It just didn't go in.
And old Juddy boy, your best friend, who you spend every day with.
And financier,
yes, of your island, once said that Austin Matthews he's at his healthiest this season. Like he's come into this season not having anything lingering from last year. And I think we all believe that, but the injury he got recently was the lower body injury, right, which shouldn't have shouldn't have impacted anything in terms of his shooting. But you look at him and you're like, something's still off. The game isn't fully there yet, and I wonder if he's still trying to come back from last year. I'm not.
I think it's a change, right? Like you look at Marner. Marner's not getting the points that he usually gets as well. He's trying to figure out his new team. I mean, these guys played together for half a decade on the same line, right?
Yeah.
So there is going to be an adjustment period there.
Fair.
And I think they need Domi to work in that position, because if he doesn't, with Easton Cowan, the Leafs have finally gotten, it's so funny. Had Marner stuck around, the Leafs would have their most complete top six ever. But they wouldn't have Nick Waugh.
Yeah.
So
he makes 12 mil.
Yeah,
I want Nick Waugh. That's what I want.
Well, I mean, I'm actually happy this year I would rather than take a step back than watch that again. I can't watch that again.
No, you'd have their best top six ever, and
it wouldn't matter.
6 league min guys.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I look at what's happened here, and I'm like, okay, so Easton Cowan has come in, and in the top 6, he's guy 5. Right? You got Nyes, Matthews, Tavares, and Nylander. Those are the tag teams that Craig Berube likes.
Yep.
We have finally found, after Bobby McMahon and Nick Robertson and blah, 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 finally found a guy who can play the left side with Tavares. Beautiful. Now we're going to need to find out whether Max Domi can play the right side for Matthews the way he did a couple years ago. And people, again, I will repeat this until I'm blue in the face. When Matthews scored the most goals in his career, the guys he was playing with were Bertuzzi and Domi.
I was about to say, I'm going to need the Blackhawks I'm going to need Connor to calm down so the Blackhawks can stink and they can trade Tyler back.
Yeah,
that's
put that line back together.
I know.
He looks good this year.
Yeah,
he's
that's why I want him. Think about what you
Nathan
can get.
McKinnon.
I know.
McKinnon looks great. I want him on the Leafs.
I loved Bertuzzi.
You know what? Yeah, you're right. Why stop there?
I couldn't stand him the first month, but then he grew on me. I'm like, dude.
I miss Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, it was
Remember
great.
that?
Yeah, it was awesome. So if the Max Domi thing works, then I think it works for this season, and I think the Leafs know that they've got a hole in that position, perhaps. If it doesn't work, well, they're going to have to make it work. They're going to have to figure something out on that wing, because somebody needs to dish more to him. And there's got to be the playmaker on that line. He is the shooter on that line. That's why with Robertson there, it's an awkward fit, because then Matthews is the disher, right?
Yeah,
And I'm saying it doesn't need to be Mikko Rantanen, right? Like, this is the thing. Like,
that'd be dope.
Crosby, yeah, it would be dope. But Crosby had Chris Kunitz.
Right.
And that worked.
Oh,
it doesn't have
Pascal
to be,
Dupuis.
Matthews doesn't necessarily need the greatest playmaker in the game. What he needs is a guy that's going to regularly find him. And once that chemistry develops, I feel like they got a line there.
Yeah, I already see it. And I'm not worried.
You're not worried. Okay, that's good.
No. That's the kind of top 6 performance we've seen all season. And also, we saw it a lot last season. The difference is when your top 6 is playing well, and even well with an asterisk, because again, Willie, you gotta, your bottom 6 has to be an option to score, which it wasn't. And now it is.
Yep.
Now it very much is. Look at how the Panthers won their cup last year. It was with insane depth, and the Leafs didn't have an answer for it.
Switched out their fourth line. Leafs dead.
Switched out their fourth line and then just changed the matchup within the top 9.
Yep.
What are the Leafs going to do?
Yep.
Manage Pontus Holmberg's minutes? You're dead.
Yeah. So anyway, it's a nice win, and it's hilarious. People were like, "Wow, this feels like a really dominant Leafs game," and I'm like, "Well, it wasn't though. It was the shots were basically even. They actually did outshoot the Florida Panthers in the end.
Oh, that's how they win though.
But
that's how they win.
What I'm saying is, it's nice. It was nice to see.
Yeah,
but that's the kind of curve we're grading on here. Is that hey man, we didn't get doubled up in the shots
game
department.
Was downright normal.
Yes. Now. It's been against the Penguins, and it's then it's been Florida. They have won 3 of 4.
I don't give a good gosh darn who it was against. They need every point they can get.
So the Toronto Maple Leafs next play Thursday, and it's going to be against Carolina.
That's the huge test.
That's a bit of a test.
Yeah.
How do you, I mean, they like a low event hockey game as much as Berube does, and they're probably better at it. Mm-hmm. How do you beat the Carolina Hurricanes if you're the Toronto Maple Leafs? What's the strategy that they're talking about this morning?
Well, the Hurricanes will meet you there. The difference is they're going to have the puck a lot, and they're going to skate and skate and skate. And if you get caught, especially in the second period, you're going to have a long, real shitty night. Test their goaltending, because some nights it's Vezina caliber, some nights it is AHL. You never really know. And continue your very interesting strategy of scoring on the first shot of the game.
3 games in a row they've done
3
that.
games in a row?
Yeah.
Like, what are the mathematical odds of that? Yeah, no, please keep doing that. Make life difficult in front of the net, which is what they've been doing for each of the last 2 games. And if they get this win, they'll be well on their way, and this road trip will be exactly what they needed.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
The Hurricanes are in an interesting point in their season because they played a home game on November 26th, and they are going to be at home until December 9th. That's 3 consecutive weeks of just home game.
Wow.
Which isn't a common thing in the schedule at all. I can show you guys right now. And in the middle of this giant homestand, they played a game on Sunday at home against Calgary. And then their next game is the Leafs game on Thursday.
Whoa.
So they're in the middle of this giant homestand. And plus, in the middle of that homestand, they're just at home fat and happy. Do you think this is an advantage for the Leafs or an advantage for the Hurricanes?
It's a challenge for Rod Brind'Amour, right? Like, he's got to find a way to keep them motivated, keep them focused, keep them in game shape.
So you can see here, they played a road game against the Sabres on November 23rd. Then you fly home, and you're home from the 24th of November. And then you go to December, and you'll see they're still home here.
Jeez.
And they don't play. So they go from November 23rd to December 11th without playing a road game. What the hell is going on there?
And there's the most random games, too. Like, look at that assortment of
Toronto, Nashville, San Jose, and Columbus.
You play a team from each division in 4 consecutive
And then,
games.
Wow.
These are the 3 days off I was talking about in the middle of this really long homestand where they played Calgary on Sunday, and then, just 3 days off till Thursday.
It is true that Canadian teams get a lot of home games in the first 2 months because of football. And I guess that they know the Carolina Panthers well enough to know that they're always going to be out by this time of year.
No. Hey, the Panthers are still in the hunt.
Are they?
The Carolina Panthers, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just their win last weekend.
Can you do me a favor and click on that hunk of shit Flames game?
Why?
The 1-0 OT win. Go look at the shots from that game.
I can look. Okay.
I feel sorry for anyone who paid to be there.
There you go.
17 to 16.
My God, that's awful.
This is Hurricanes hockey. So what were the shots in total? Because it could have been 160, but only 17 on goal.
They
sure how many block shots the Flames have?
They love their shots, but this is an ugly game. Wow.
The Hurricanes had 15 shots heading into overtime against the Flames, bro. Like,
brutal.
It might have been that homestand. They're just hanging out at home too long.
Might have been.
I don't know. I don't know what's
God.
going on. But that's just a really weird quirk in the schedule I wanted to point out. They must have a whole ton of road games in the back half of the season. I know sometimes teams go on extended road trips because of the bookings of their home stadiums, but I've never seen a situation where an extended homestand. I thought it was weird.
So that's a weird schedule quirk.
Yeah.
You know what? Leafs need to take advantage. They're the sharper edge.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
you just came off the team that also beat the Carolina Hurricanes last year. Or, you just beat the Panthers who beat the Hurricanes.
Beat the Carolina Panthers.
You beat the Florida Panthers.
No.
Who beat the Carolina Hurricanes.
That's how it works.
You see?
And the Leafs
I spat it out.
Currently hold the cup.
This is their last game on the road trip, so you have a chance to have a winning record on your road trip. They go 4-2, which is pretty good. A 6-game roadie. Go get this one.
BetMGM is an official sports betting partner of the National Hockey League. Did you know that?
Were
you aware of that?
I know now.
All right, now Leafs playing Carolina Hurricanes tomorrow. Who is your anytime point or goal getter from the Carolina Hurricanes?
From the Hurricanes?
Yeah, because they're hard to predict.
Screw you, man, for asking that. Logan Stankoven.
I think it would be Seth Jarvis against the Leafs, right? That's former Leaf draft pick, Seth Jarvis.
That's the correct answer, isn't it? Seth Jarvis.
Jesse?
Why can't I say shutout? Why can't I say nobody?
Whoa, you could.
No, my pick is Jackson Blake.
Oh, man, I love him. Also shares a name with a guy I know.
Well,
kind of cool.
Former Leaf, former Leaf kid.
Yes. Oh,
exactly.
Yeah,
even better.
You mean Nepo baby Jackson Blake is what you say? Yeah,
Jason Blake, Leaf great.
That's right. No, I'm kidding. Jackson Blake rules. BetMGM has original bets, which in hockey markets you can't get anywhere else, and they also have instant withdrawals, data insights, and a brand new rewards hub. Download the BetMGM app today and enjoy the NHL like never before. BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 18 plus to wager. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you have any questions or concerns about your gambling or somebody close to you, please contact Connects Ontario 1-866-531-2600 to speak to an advisor free of charge. And BetMGM operates pursuant to an operating agreement with iGaming Ontario. Brandon Carlo, it was announced before the game, he's a ways away because he had to fly home to get something done. And Berube did admit that there's probably a surgical aspect to this. Now, that can be small or big, but it is a lower body injury. We're assuming it's not a knee. He was skating, so I don't know what it could be. I don't know when he'll be back. One thing that
I don't get this.
Anthony Stolarz is, quote, a ways away.
That's not a thing.
And we haven't heard anything about Chris Tanev. I think they're being extremely careful because 2 concussions back-to-back is, scary.
Just say we don't know.
Well, with a concussion, I understand. Just say, listen, it was we don't know with him. With if there's a surgery, you know.
Yes. Yes.
You absolutely know.
You have a time frame. Like, again, we keep using the Habs as an example, but I think one of them was 6 to 8 months. That is 2 months of wiggle room where he could come back anytime during that 2 months.
But we have a floor on that, which is 6 months.
Yes.
We have a minimum.
When are these humans coming back?
So here's my question.
We're an injury away from demanding answers, right?
I want to crowdsource this.
Okay.
You ready? There's my goal. All right. You're a Blues fan. You're a Flames fan. You're listening to this show. And there are many who do. What was Berube like with injuries in St. Louis? What was Treliving like with injuries in Calgary?
I think this is a tree thing.
Is it so you think it's Treliving? Jesse, do you think it's Treliving?
Yeah, something like this has got to come down from probably the two of them combined, in all honesty. It's probably Treliving having this as strategy, Berube agreeing, and them it's
a bad strategy.
Yeah, this is how they want to go about things.
I'm wondering were the Flames like this and we just never noticed?
I mean, it's possible. Like, how closely do you pay attention to each team's injury report?
Yeah, because if you're a fan, it's funny, the Hurricanes, the Rod the Bod is probably worse than Berube with injuries. He'll give nothing. Like he'll give you just non-answers when the reporters are asking about injuries. So it is a thing in other parts of the league, but you only really notice it unless you're like day to day watching these franchises.
Okay, so Joseph Wool gets hurt, and Hildeby's got to be the starter for the next little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And the paying customer is like, roughly when is Stolarz coming back? And we just get a pair of these, right in the face. You just get a pair of middle fingers.
Because those are the rules that the NHL has outlined for these teams. They do not have an obligation to tell you anything. They can lie, they can be mute, they can do whatever they want because that's what's up to them.
The Leafs,
so yes,
the Leafs are preposterously hyper-focused on perception, and they wind everything in their organization so tight. Mm-hmm. Again, I keep saying the call is coming from inside the house. It's not the media. It's not the fans. It's you. This makes it worse.
Oh, yeah. This is a bad PR thing that they got going.
Stop doing it. It's weird and unhelpful and dumb. Like all that stuff, like Keith Pelly was like, we want better, like a better relationship with the fans, more interaction or whatever. This hurts their credibility greatly.
Yeah, Ryan Leslie can't solve this.
Right? That poor guy is sitting there just floundering. He's also like, there was at one point in the season, he probably ran out of guys to interview because they're all hurt and locked in a dungeon somewhere because we're not allowed to see them or speak to them. I don't know. It's just very weird.
Yeah, and I honestly don't think it's changing. I think they are comfortable with this and they don't really care what you think or the fans think. Because that's how they've kind of gone about their business this entire time.
That is how the Leafs go about
that. That is how they run their operation.
I don't even need to know what it is. Like if it's a matter of medical privacy, like just give me a timeline.
No, they don't have to.
Oh, okay.
And they don't care. That's literally how they think. They are about whatever, making money, and they're supposed to be about winning hockey games, and this is what they think is their best strategy in winning hockey games, not pleasing you, the fan,
right?
Which is the wrong way to go about things. I'm not advocating for doing it that direction, but this is what they think, which is, I think, totally wrong.
The only justification I can think of is it helps them in like trade discussions.
Yeah.
Because no one knows what's going on with your situation, so you can't weigh your negotiating position.
There's also the other argument about guys getting targeted for injuries, but I think that's,
tell me what the injury is.
I think that's a little overblown, but it's also, you can give me timelines without telling me it's specifically I think a wrist injury.
They're worried that you might figure it out.
Oh,
like, you could have told me Scott Laughton broke his foot.
No.
Is that going to get him targeted? No, he's not coming back until the bones
he's not going to play until it's healed.
I saw it. I knew and they're like, oh, it's going to be a bit. I'm like, he broke his foot.
Yeah. And they still have not. It's a couple days.
There was a tweet.
Broken foot day today.
There was a tweet where Berube goes, oh yeah, it's nothing serious with Ekman-Larsson. And Mike Stevens tweeted, this is code for Oliver Ekman-Larsson is dead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have no idea what's going on with any of these players. And I think it's silly. Like, with Tanev, it's unpredictable. With Woll, his leave at the beginning of the season. Everyone understood it. No one said a peep. And we understand that not every situation has a timeline. A lot of them do, though.
The Stollers one is a bit absurd because that was literally day to day. He could be back like Saturday for this next game. We'll see. And then he hasn't been on the ice ever since and could be out months.
And this is now two guys who I'm fairly certain, based on the timelines they gave, have suffered setbacks. That's Stolarz and Carlo. And it makes your medical staff look really shitty.
Yes. At what point are we starting to ask questions about that, though?
Well, I'm fairly confident the Leafs medical staff is like top of class.
But we've spent years saying that, and now that table might be turning.
Well,
maybe they're not.
It makes them look incompetent. Mm-hmm. And if I'm on that staff, I don't feel good about this. I'll give you at all. It makes me look like a fool.
If you're listening to this and you think, oh, these guys are crazy, and my team does this too, or whatever. Let me give you an example. Last year, obviously, we knew Austin Matthews was hurt. We didn't know how long. He was day-to-day for an entire month. Then, weirdly, Anthony Stolarz went down in December, and they said, he's going in for surgery. He's got pebbles on the knee. He'll be back in January.
Oh, yeah.
And they told us.
Great.
Do you guys remember that?
Mm-hmm.
They just said, he's got a bone pebble on the knee. They're going to remove it, and it's going to be Joseph Woll's net until then.
That was awesome.
Great.
So they did both last year. And this year it's like they got together in a big old boardroom down at Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment and said, you know what? Fuck these guys. Fuck them.
That's what it said on the whiteboard.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Tree's like, you know
Honor,
what?
pride, fuck them.
Yeah. Tree's like, I'm a really affable guy, but I'm really tired of these media and these fans.
Yeah.
And he's like,
To Steve's point, like, does the quote not make it worse? Like the Berube quote, we can go back to it. He said he has to get something done. It didn't go the way we thought.
Yeah, so that makes the medical staff look bad.
What are you doing?
The knee bone's connected to the leg bone. The leg bone's you sound like you're being run by Dr. Nick.
Dr. Nick.
And not one of the most capable medical staffs like in pro sports in the country. No, it makes you sound like buffoons.
It didn't go the way we thought, you know. He's got to get surgery.
Does Brandon Carlo have 2 feet?
I think he does.
We don't know.
I don't know. The follow-up of does that mean Brandon Carlo will need surgery via Mark Masters? Craig Berube said probably.
Did he follow up with what kind?
So, yeah. All the information.
You only ever get
here.
one follow-up.
Yeah.
So
You're not getting the answer.
That could be femur amputation or toenail removal. None of us friggin' know.
imagine this is all a hangnail.
Hanging from a cuticle, a hangnail. It ain't beautiful.
I think there's a way that they could do this that, because if you give somebody a timeline and the timeline changes to go, well, injuries are unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
As a media member, I can understand that. What I can't understand is a ways away. That's like my, I'm doing chores with my dad. How many more chores do we have to do today? Well, we got a lot.
I can't understand.
Like, I don't fucking know. That means all day to
day
me.
Turning into month to month.
Yeah.
I don't get that. Because how is anything ever day to day if it's a month's long injury?
Technically, they're both the same. All of life is day to day.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Hey,
all
by
of
the way,
life is day to day.
Yeah.
Months are made of weeks and weeks are made of days.
How long are they out?
Also,
Thank you, Craig Berube.
You know what? Also, if you really boil it down, everything's 50-50.
Yes.
You don't even need
it either does
Polymarket.
happen or it doesn't happen.
Yeah, it does or it doesn't. Is he back tomorrow? I don't know. 50-50.
I don't know, 50-50.
It's the same fucking answer.
Gregory, let's start with, do you expect them to play hockey for the Toronto Maple Leafs again? Okay.
Maybe.
Great. Yeah.
Who knows?
Yep.
50-50.
When?
50-50.
When?
Well, it's 50-50.
Oh, my God.
Everything's 50-50. It's
50-50 on the
true.
date.
Either does happen or it doesn't.
Guys. Like, oh, my God.
What do you got, Adam?
Like, the playoffs are day to day. Like, we don't know if he's going to play game 3. It's December.
Hey, Grandma, that's a cool frame that you have there. How does it work? Oh, I don't know how it works, but my kids take care of it for me because it's an Aura frame and you can upload pictures from anywhere.
Wow, we paid a real grandma. This is going to be great for anyone just listening on.
Yeah.
audio. We paid an actual grandma to be in this spot.
That can be you, by the way.
Yes.
That could be your life. You can get your grandmother or your mother or anybody else in your life who wants a digital frame that you can upload pictures from anywhere at any time through the app. Unlimited, which is amazing. No subscription fee.
Yeah.
Don't worry about any of that. And we also got a deal for you.
What's the deal?
$35 off of Aura's best carver mat frames, named #1 by Wirecutter. Use the promo code SDP at checkout. And the great thing about Aura frames is it also comes with a gift box, so you don't even have to worry about,
It's a very nice gift.
And you can preload pictures in advance of the holidays.
You ever have family members you love, but when it comes to technology, you're like, don't touch it.
100%.
This is one of those things. They don't have to.
AuraFrames.com. That's AURA frames.com. Promo code SDP. The deal is exclusive to listeners, and the frames sell out fast. So make sure you order now. It's AuraFrames.com. Promo code SDP, and support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Let's talk about the Oilers game last night. Jesse already mentioned it in the Ford segment, but Wallstedt shut the Oilers out. 5 shutouts in 10 career games.
10 career wins.
10 career wins, excuse me. Yeah, excuse me.
That's the stat.
And I want to say that it's not fair that people keep pointing out that he was originally an Oilers draft pick, but I will still enjoy it.
Yeah, it is.
You know what? You think? I don't think it is fair. Clearly, the Wild saw something. And who drafts a goalie in the first round anymore? It's very few teams.
It's rare.
But they love this guy. And the Minnesota Wild, you got to remember, had a shitty October, man. And they look slow and bad.
Can I push back on something?
No.
Maybe they should start doing it again.
Doing what?
Drafting goalies in the first round. They've been right recently. Like
who are you talking about?
Yaroslav Askarov.
Yeah.
And friggin'
Wallstedt.
Jesper Wallstedt. They, for a few years, it was like one guy every 2 or 3 years screwing it up for everyone.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even that big of a pocket of time. It was like Malcolm Subban, Chet Pickard, not Calvin. And there might have been another one in there. But for the most part, goalies who go that high do very well.
And what was incredible when you go back and you watch the highlights, I was streaming the Leafs game last night. When you go back and you watch the highlights of this game, it's not like the Oilers didn't have chances. It's, the Wild do a good job of pushing a rush team like the Oilers to the side. They're really, really good at that.
Pretty much always have.
But Connor McDavid can still find a way. Mm-hmm. And yet you see Wallstedt just confidently, body positionally, he's also huge,
Swedishly.
Swedishly. Get in the way. And I'm going to ask a question. Is he on the Swedish Olympic team?
So it's crazy because he might not even be the best Swedish goalie on his team. But there's an argument to send both of them.
Why not?
That'd be kind of crazy, eh?
Yeah.
Have Wallstedt, Gustafsson,
person.
I don't know if Ullmark goes.
Well, I mean, the Sens are in the playoff hunt. Or
You got
in the playoffs.
Wallstedt, Ullmark, Gustafsson, Markstrom, Forsberg, Hildeby, and then Arvid Soderblom.
I think it's got to be
Samuel Ersson.
I think
bring the beast.
They're gonna bring Markstrom.
Yeah,
unless he's hurt. Is he still hurt? Was he hurt?
He's hurt. Markstrom is always he'd be a perfect leaf.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm like, man, Gustafsson and Wallstedt make the most sense. Like, and I don't think Markstrom's had a great year even when he was healthy.
He's healthy right now, and he's got a 908.
Okay.
Oh no, that's career.
That's career. That's what I thought.
What is he this season? Markstrom.
God bless Quant
Why
hockey.
is this not? Okay.
Oh, never mind.
I got to get off
Condemn
of Quant hockey. This season, Jacob Markstrom is an 874. That's a lot different.
874 it matches Vesitosklo's worst year as a Leaf. So that's pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good.
Yep.
So I don't know. See,
I think both Wild goalies go.
I think they go. I think
you got to take this kid.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because of how hot he is, he's going to be the third goaltender. A third goaltender barely matters ever. He's breaking so many records. Like you mentioned, the 5 in 10 wins. It's 5 shutouts in 15 career games. It's 4th shutout of the season. He's the first goalie to have 5 shutouts at the time of his 10th career win since like Roger Crozier in 1964.
Damn.
Like, it's unbelievable things he's doing right now. But if he falls off even a little bit between now and the end of December, you don't have to take him.
Yeah.
But if he's hot going into when you got to finalize the roster, bring him.
I think it's similar to the conversation we're having with guys like Celebrini and Bedard. Like, those guys are the future of the Canadian program. Jesper Wallstedt is clearly the future of the Swedish program. You have to bring him.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool, though.
Again, like as a third? Come on.
And the Oilers, like, it's a one game where you wanted that victory because you outplayed the other team, and you can chalk this one up to we got goalies.
Yep.
I think that's fair in this instance of like, we did everything we kind of could, and this goaltender is just otherworldly right now.
And you don't get a lot of those, but
this I'm willing to give it to them.
Yeah. I would give that to them for sure.
Yeah.
You know, I know there's no like moral victories, especially in the Oilers' position, but it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. It's 82 games.
So many games.
Anyway, so that was a cool, very, very sort of cool game and a great story. The other one I want to talk about is the Sens and the Habs. That we'll get to Chicago in a second here, but the Sens and the Habs game was pretty damn spicy. I don't know if you saw Brady Tkachuk leaving the ice with Strubal's stick. Literally just took it from him and then shifted off.
Shithousery is back on the menu, boys.
We
got. By the way, we're still only at half Tkachuk capacity. There's another one left to come back.
In the same division.
Yes.
And the great thing about these two teams is they hate each other in a way that I don't think the Sens hate the Leafs this much. I don't think the Habs hate the Leafs this much. It's Sens and Habs. They hate each other's guts. And Sam Montembeault there's a real question there. What's going on?
This rivalry has been sorely missed, not just within the division, but with the Ottawa Senators. The Senators need this to be a thing.
Yeah.
Michael Andlauer needs this to be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, did they have a playoff series against each other? Like the Hamburglar year or something like that? But it's hard to generate genuine hatred between two teams. They just gotta, something has to happen where they just decide, I'm friggin' sick of you.
Yeah.
And that has happened. That's been apparent with these guys since the preseason. They hate each other. It's awesome. Let them fight. That is how I watch each one of these games.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I said I hope both teams have a bad time and want to trade all their best players to the
I agree.
that's my hope for
the more you punch each other, the better.
Yeah.
I felt bad going back and watching most of the game with the Sens and Canadiens because I was trying to figure out which goal wasn't Montembeault's fault, and I couldn't. I think every single one, if Jesper Wallstedt's in the net, they might win that game 2-1. You know, I think he's reached the point where he's unplayable. Like, he can't be in the net again for the Canadiens. It was disgusting last night from him.
He was bad.
He was really bad. And I think he could have had it was 5 goals, and he could have had at least 3 or 4 of them back.
So the question you have then is, like, what do you do? Because Dobish needs help. They're not playing great defense, and they'll admit that. But
did you say his numbers, by the way? Sorry.
You can read them. Go ahead.
861?
Yeah.
You can't take the ice with that.
Yep.
Holy shit. That's got to... Is that bottom of the league?
It's got to be near the...
goalies who have played a certain amount of...
Yeah, goalies that are actually starting. It's got to be near the bottom.
His record is... How does he have 5 wins? What? 5, 6, and 1? Dobish hasn't even been much better. He's an 888.
Yeah.
But that's enough to get them 8-3 and 2.
Yep. It's crazy that we're in this position. Now, I think with Montreal, you have to kind of sit tight and do nothing. Like, you do have to see if he can work through this. This is a guy who was a 4 Nations goalie 6-8 months ago. You've got to...
You're not wrong.
You've got to try to work through this. Like the Leafs. The Leafs would have, I'm sure, loved to have made a move when things were really, really bad. And listen, I'm not saying they're overwhelmingly good right now, but there's been an improvement in the play. The Leafs would have loved to have made a move. They couldn't. They were handcuffed by the fact that they've got nothing to give. The Habs have a lot to give. But what I would caution them on here is giving too much at this position. That is such a weird position when very, like he could have a turnaround, amazing end of the season, and nobody would be surprised by it. You've got to work through this, and you've got to stay on the prize, which is getting yourself a second line center who's a legit option.
I wonder if they've given him too much time already, though.
You think so?
It's been since the beginning of the season, like he hasn't been good. It's been a while, and I wonder if the time he's been given now should have been the stretch where it's like you're talking about, hey, he's given enough time to turn around. You should have turned around by now.
Yep.
And if they have playoff aspirations, they're gonna have to go get another goalie because this guy's he's actively losing you games.
So they have 2 solutions within the organization, which is really good news. I'm gonna use the Leafs for a suggestion for what they do. Remember, this was over a decade ago now. Remember when Jonathan Bernier got a conditioning stint just because he was bad?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, can you do that? And Lou Lamoriello said, well, I'm doing it. And he did it anyway.
Whatever, we're in last place.
They sent him down and tried to rehab his game. They have 2 great options on Laval. Kaapo Kähkönen has NHL experience. He's 6-2, 906 save percentage in the A. Everyone's waiting on Jacob Fowler. This young kid who they got. He's 9-4, 920 save percentage. I would love,
why not give him a shot?
You can't repeat the mistakes that they made with Caden Primo, and any Habs fan who denies this, it's revisionist history. He was supposed to be real good, and he got yo-yoed up and down until he was wrecked. And that guy is not good. Yeah, I knew that. I hoped he had gotten better. Gosh darn it. He's also a great example of why you can't use American League stats to apply to the NHL because he's unreal in the American League. But I don't think they need to go out and get help. I think they've already done that. It's just how do you get them in the lineup? I don't know.
All right.
Like, without an injury, like, what do you do? Do you call up Kähkönen, let's say, and have 3 goalies and just put Montembeault in the press box?
That would be my solution. Would be to use 3 goalies. We've seen it before, and I think it's a good in-between solution.
You got to be like, listen, man, you're an 861. Like, when, let me check this out. When the Oilers sent Jack Campbell down, I don't think he was this bad. His full season stats wouldn't have it because he ended up coming back up and he was good.
Yeah.
But that's a great example, though. The difference is you put Montembeault on waivers, which they're not doing.
No.
He gets claimed.
Yeah.
Campbell, there was no shot. Yeah, I don't know what the solution is here, but the good news is I don't think you need to go outside of your organization here. You've already done the due diligence. It's just their choice on when to push that button.
There's too many teams that would take a flyer on Montembeault.
Oh,
like,
no,
he would not.
Yeah, no.
reach
No,
past,
I'm
like,
not
the-
even suggesting you try that.
And he's not bad enough to where everybody's like, oh, I don't even want him. You know,
Yeah.
Not
like,
bad enough for long enough.
it's like where
Yeah.
Jari was so bad, nobody wanted him for free on waivers, and now people are trying to trade for him. Edmonton, maybe.
And we see goalies go through this all the time. How many coaches did Bobrovsky get fired for having bad starts? Jake Markstrom was like, hey, 2 great years in a row and 1 where I can't be played. Pekka Rinne was the same. You know, you do have
to another degree.
what, Ilya?
He was awesome, unusable, very, very, very good. At the drop of a hat, unusable again.
Yeah, and back in the KHL now. And I think
Yes. Yeah.
I think that there's something to that with a young goalie. Like it is between the years. It's a bizarre position. So hopefully Montreal can hang on. I think they would do a lot better if they continue to focus on what their goals were this year. I don't think that they can make a replacement here. I think you just got to play through this. And that's sometimes you have a teammate that's fighting it. And, you know, the Habs talk about, and Canadians fans are in my DMs all the time talking about, you don't understand. We got a great culture here and blah, blah, blah. Okay. This is where you need a great culture. This is where the great culture takes over and you build this guy back up on the team.
I remember saying you didn't.
And you sit, I know, it's just they're very defensive sometimes.
Yeah. And with Montembeault, like, I don't even know if it's so much like he doesn't have it anymore or anything like that. It might just be the yips.
Yeah.
Like the 4-1 goal, he's just not able to cover the puck. And it's just something very simple and formulaic that a goalie can do. It's just, if you cover this puck, they don't have the rebound and they don't score a goal. And he's just like taking extra second to get to it, and Ottawa pounces on the puck. And like, I think it just might be a reset moment for him.
I mean, like, guys are proud. They don't want to come out, but at some point you got to have a conversation like, this is awful, right? Like, you're not having a good time. This isn't fun for you, right? What I think is best for you and what I think is best for the team is you take a little bit of a break. You're going to work with our goaltending staff. We're going to call up, I imagine, Kakinen, and you just give Fowler all the starts in the world that he could want. And they probably come out of this fine.
The fake injury conditioning stint at Laval would be awesome.
Yeah. Like,
Awesome.
what do they check?
Right? Like, who cares? I'm sure he has something.
My foot hurts.
Like, go
I got a
stub
headache.
your toe.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Make something up.
Go down and just get reset and everything.
Yeah.
They like they check if it's like one of those things that they were investigating heading into the playoffs, Landeskog and Evander Kane. They're not checking
Klingberg.
this.
No, they don't.
They're not checking this.
No.
They're not. And what did they check Bernier?
Yeah.
They just sent him down.
Just say your thigh is sore. Like, there's enough ways to get this done if they want to do
My
it.
thigh
It
is
was-
sore.
I don't remember if they've changed the rules since then, but like someone, it was probably CJ, had to go into like the deepest, darkest depths of the collective bargaining agreement. And it was like, yeah, you can send a goalie down for a maximum of like 2 weeks and 3 starts or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they just simply did that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're bad. Go figure out how to not be that anymore.
They need to
And
solve
we'll
this
call you back up.
if they want to stay in the playoff hunt. That's
Yep,
what
they do. Hey, look at that nice t-shirt that Jesse's holding on to. And a plastic bag.
I literally just opened a fresh True Classic shirt.
Right.
Now, Adam, we always talk about the True Classic t-shirts, but they don't just make t-shirts. You can also get a nice True Classic polo.
Oh, for the
There you
golf
go.
course.
Yeah.
Or Christmas dinner.
So soft. Steve, confirm the softness.
Oh, I own one of these also, Jesse,
do you?
and can confirm
Yeah.
how soft.
I'm so happy I got one.
The great thing about these pieces is that they fit and they don't break the bank, which is kind of important. They're a great Christmas gift, and also they're a great gift for you. We've been wearing True Classic for a while. Are you going to throw that at me?
No,
Oh, I have like a
definitely
hot
not.
tea over here. Do not put your True Classic t-shirt in the tea. But you can skip the guesswork and the overpriced designer stuff. Get comfort and get it for a great price with True Classic. You can find them at Amazon, Target, Costco, and Sam's Club, or you can head to trueclassic.com/dangle to grab the perfect gift for everybody on your list. Again, trueclassic.com/dangle. Darren Dreger said this morning on TSN radio that if they're going to bring anybody to the Olympics, it's going to be Macklin Celebrini over Connor Bedard. And that is after Connor Bedard put on the show he did. Now, I sent Jesse both goals that are worth talking about. Obviously, only one of them counts on the stat sheet. The other one's a shootout goal. Shoot-handed goal.
Shoot-handed.
But I have to say, I respect the hell out of the fact that Connor Bedard is, whether he makes this Olympic team or not, is shoving all of the doubters' faces, noses in it. He's shoving. Everybody was like, well, maybe he's a winger. He can't win face-off. He's miserable. Maybe he's not as good as we thought he might be. No, this guy's incredible. Well, this guy's unbelievable.
The things I was saying about him coming out of junior, I was like, this guy has the potential to be as good of an offensive player as Connor McDavid. And if you go and look at his junior stats, there was every reason to believe that. He was prolific.
Yep.
Even like during, I think some of it got buried because of COVID, because he was like this 15-year-old just dummying the WHL. And I think part of the negativity around him last year was, man, the Blackhawks really killed what should be like a once in a generation talent for their team.
Mm-hmm.
Generational. Darren Dreger was getting on the term generational. It could be generational for your team.
Yeah.
Instead of league wide.
Yeah.
Connor McDavid is probably generational league wide.
Yeah.
Generational for your team. I think Connor Bedard can be that. He's fine, as it turns out. And I don't know what the cutoff is for getting this guy on the team. What is it?
I mean, I'll tell you this. He's got 38 points already.
That's insane.
Almost 20 goals, 21 or 17 of those are goals. 11 of his points, by the way, have come on the power play. So he's scoring a lot at 5-on-5, which is crazy. And worth noting that shootouts are at the Olympics, and he's pretty good at those too. And, I'm not saying that Macklin shouldn't be there. I'm just saying, are we sure that the guys you're bringing are better than the guys you're leaving?
Macklin's still probably the better all-around player,
sure,
but you are allowed to bring both.
Yeah, it's crazy, and I don't know, man. I'm looking at this, and people are like, well, maybe Brad Marchand should stay home. I'm like, have you looked at Brad Marchand's stats? He's having a great season.
Now, also just like personality-wise.
Yeah, you need Brad.
You're not leaving Brad at home.
No.
But I mean, the playoffs he had, the final he had.
It's a goal-scoring contest, though. And
right.
And if the rumors are to be believed, and actually Chris Johnston and Mike Russo put together an article about this, there's going to be even less space to dangle by 3.5 feet or something like that in Milan.
There are no grown-ups.
It's crazy that there's some sort of misunderstanding. That's so funny.
We made it up.
But this is where we're at. I don't know. I want the young, quick guys who can make a lot happen in a small space. That's what I want.
What if you have like this murderer's row first line, two perfectly capable middle six lines, 200 feet of the ice, and then you have a preposterous fourth line of just kids. It's
kid line.
Celebrini in the middle, Bedard on the right. I don't give a shit who you put on the left.
Put a babysitter with them. Put Marchand with them.
Why not? 2.5 men. That'd be perfect.
I think if they make the team, they are the extra skaters.
They are
the two healthy scratches. But this season has truly felt like a changing of the guard in the NHL.
Yeah.
Where you have Macklin and Leo Carlson, who deserves his respect too, and Connor Bedard joining the top ranks of the McKinnons of the world, the McDavids, and just the Counting Stats page. And then they're also just on the ice when you watch them out there. They look just as good as these guys at their top level, And Bedard, I know Kyle Davidson spoke to, I think it was Frank Saravalli on his show, about how Bedard this summer worked on his skating and how he's noticeably faster out there. And you see it. You see, like, he is at a next level. And I don't know what happened this summer with all the kids, but they've clearly taken that upon themselves to get better and grow into these roles. And I mentioned this like a couple weeks ago when we were having the same conversation that we seem to have every day because they keep doing this. But this happened sooner than we remember.
Yeah.
Crosby did it at this age too. He had his Hart Trophy very early. Malkin even did it at that age. McDavid did it in his teenage years. Like
Crosby's Hart was in his sophomore season.
In 19 years old. And we forget when it happens each time that, oh yeah, when these generational guys come up, they do it immediately. It might not be that first year, but you see the pieces of it.
You get to game 80 to 100.
Yeah, and then
start to get
these second and third year times, they're here and they arrive and they're at the top of the points race, and then they remain there for 15 years of their career. And I don't think these guys are falling off anytime soon. I think this is what Macklin and Bedard are. So bring them, because that's what they're going to be in the next 4 years. They're going to be our Crosbys and McDavids and McKinnons and Marners and whoever else. So bring them now. I'm on that bandwagon. Just have them as healthy scratches, because those are the kids who are the future.
If they are the healthy scratches. So at the Olympics, like, the healthy scratches play, because they don't want these guys playing every single day.
Listen, I got that date versus Italy circled.
Well, I was about
Celebrini
to say,
versus Italy.
there are going to be you're going to get a motivated and angry Connor Bedard and Macklin Celebrini just slaughtering Italy and Kazakhstan or something like that.
Maybe put them out there against Latvia, who always give Canada fits.
Yeah.
You know what? Latvia, we've had enough of you and your crazy. There's so many syllables in every name.
Oh, set the over-under for saves for 56.5 because that's just what they always produce. No, if you have pissed off Connor Bedard, I have to specify which Connor, and Macklin Celebrini, that could be something.
That would be great.
Adam, did you want to show the visual of the Bedard goal here?
Oh, this goal is so unbelievable. And it's tea for the soul that it happened, or chicken soup for the soul that it happened against Vegas.
And not just against Vegas. Can I point something out?
Sure.
Who are those two Golden Knights?
Mark Stone and Shea Theodore?
Both members of Team Canada.
Oh,
good point.
These guys are so good. Watch this shit.
All right, Jesse.
that's a good point.
So Connor Bedard it's kind of like a one-on-one here, right?
Yeah, entirely one-on-one.
Because Stone is going to get back eventually.
Yeah.
So Connor's got one chance to cut across the ice before Mark Stone catches him. I think if Mark Stone actually kept skating, he probably would have caught Bedard right here on this play.
He's watching.
He's watching the third. But look at this move. It turns Shea Theodore around. Like he's a turnstile at the airport, and fires that thing, and that's a Carter fart.
That's right in.
That stinks.
No, Carter Hart, you can't do anything about that.
No,
that's best goal scorer in the world kind of stuff.
I'm taking my shots again.
Look at that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
that's disgusting.
That's like 5 people on Earth who are doing that.
Those are 2 Canadian Olympians. He's doing that against.
Yeah,
there might be 3 Canadian Olympians in that shot.
And by the way, Vegas, who has just feasted on overtime loss points, got another one last night because Jesse Blake, Connor Bedard finished them off with one of the sickest.
Well, he scored in the shootout.
Sorry,
Vegas won.
What are you talking about?
Vegas won.
Vegas won that game.
Oh,
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, they came back and they won the shootout.
Damn it.
I also saw the headline
Vegas,
because everyone was just like Bedard. He scored in the shootout. Bedard, and I was like, oh. Vegas got another one, and I went and I'm like, oh, they won. You should have probably led with they won.
Nah.
No, Bedard scored early on in the shootout after Dorofeyev scored, and then Shea Theodore actually got the shootout winner many rounds later.
That's what
This was the game after the Leafs game, so I watched the majority of it. It was a really good game. Carter Hart, if you still had dang-its for the NHL, this would be goaltender 10 the goal moment. He looked like he hadn't played hockey in years. He goes out and he tries to play a puck, and he fumbles it, and it leads directly to a goal. Why was he a little rusty, Steve?
He was on trial for sexual assault along with 4 other guys.
Here's the play that Carter Hart was trying to make first game back since the trial. It definitely looked like it. He was very shaky at times. Makes that pass directly to the Blackhawks, who finish it off, and that'd be Bertuzzi. 2-1 goal. Yeah, Bertuzzi got unassisted because the other team assisted to him.
Baby, come back.
And then we also had another member of that World Junior team make some news. When was it? Yesterday. Cal Foote is signing with the Chicago Wolves, and the Wolves president came out and said that was the Carolina Hurricanes decision. So I think that note needs to go there as well.
Yeah, so that situation I think is going to get messy toot sweets.
We'll see.
Because I think the Wolves they're very autonomous.
Right.
Like they are very much like an independent organization that even when they've had affiliates in the NHL, and not every season do they, they go, yeah, well, we're going to still do our own thing and we've got our own fans. And I think the president came out and said that because I think the fans were upset.
Well, here's the thing. I think Carolina is acting like you're stupid because they were one of the teams rumored to be in on, I can't remember if they were rumored to be in on Hart, but they were rumored to be in on Michael McLeod. And they didn't do it. And one of the rumored reasons was all the public backlash and their fans calling them and being like, I'll cancel my season seats. Like, I'm not coming. There was a petition and everything. So then another one of the guys from the trial, Cal Foote, is signed by the Chicago Wolves. And everyone was like, well, grain of salt, because the Chicago Wolves are fiercely independent, but they also have an affiliate agreement with the Carolina Hurricanes. Then the Wolves come out and directly go, that wasn't us. And how awkward is that going to be?
Well, I mean, he shows up to practice now and the president of the team has been like, we didn't want you.
Hey.
Yeah. That's crazy. It's a crazy story. I don't know how it plays out. I think, I don't know. Like I think you make a good point. Like Carolina's acting like you're stupid. Like just blow over. Right?
Yep.
And, it's interesting because that's kind of how Boston handled Mitchell Miller. Is they kind of acted like, hey, you guys are kind of stupid. Like you won't really notice. We're winning. We're winning.
That blew up in their face and in their own locker room.
Yes.
When their own players came out against that. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this unfolds with the Foote there.
Yeah.
They did it. Well, like, listen, who's the next Leafs game against?
Carolina. Well, Cal Foote's not playing in that game.
No. But, if the Leafs media contingent is so big and they're on the road here, I think it kind of behooves them to ask some questions.
Right.
About this.
They won't be able to ask the questions to the people who can answer them.
Well,
like you're not asking Rod. Like I don't think that's actually
that's the problem. So then it falls on the guys who cover the Hurricanes, and it can be done. Sinbin Vegas, I don't know their real name, but Sinbin Vegas was asking Carter Hart some very difficult questions. And local media there has taken some criticism, like, where are you at on this? Like, can you ask some tough ones? And like Carter Hart, when he was announced with Vegas, he's like, yeah, I'm going to do a bunch of initiatives like within the community or whatever. And Sinbin Vegas is basically like, so like, what are you doing? Right? Because he was very vague and he just got there. Sure, you need some time to think or whatever. And he still didn't really have anything.
Oh, he didn't have an answer? No.
We could bring the answer up. I don't remember exactly what it was verbatim, but yeah, like good on them for asking, because like that question is not going to make you popular in that locker room. It is not going to make you popular with the Vegas Golden Knights. There's a very high likelihood you are blocking blessings by asking that, but you're also doing your job.
Yeah, because the fans want to know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yep. So that falls on local media in Carolina to ask some questions. And with the Wolves.
It's going to be a thing that, obviously the Hurricanes feel like they can, if the McLeod thing didn't work out, they do feel like the Cal Foote thing could, because they're signing him. So,
yeah, but it's a minor league affiliate, and I don't know.
It's an interesting call. There's no question. Okay. Now, Steven Stamkos reached 1,200 points last night. And it's almost as though a tree has fallen in the woods and no one's there to hear it. And it's not because we don't root on Steven Stamkos. It's precisely because we root on Steven Stamkos that it's like, buddy, this has just not worked in Nashville. This thing is not working. He probably should have hit this midway through last season.
They did waffle stomp the Calgary Flames, which probably felt pretty good.
Yeah. But I know we're all talking about Ryan O'Reilly. Steven Stamkos' name's got to be out there too, right? Like, there's no chance they're not looking at moving that.
He's exponentially harder to move, I think. O'Reilly has no trade protection and makes like half the money, right? And plays center consistently.
Yeah, because Stamkos used to be, but isn't anymore. Yeah.
Like, do you...
I mean,
can he play third line center
I
minutes?
happen to not believe... I do not believe that Steven Stamkos is cooked. I don't believe that. I think the system he's in, the team he's on, the adjustment of leaving the Lightning after playing his entire career there, and having nobody really up center to pitch to him the way that he used to.
It's a terrible setup.
I feel like you put him on a team that has, a good young group around him, and he'd flourish. I just don't like. Was Steven Stamkos beating guys in foot races?
He wasn't. It wasn't a hallmark of his game.
When he scored 60 goals, he was known for standing still and firing cannons at the net.
Just a weapon.
So his game should move like Ovechkin's game did, like Tavares' game does.
It should be able to age a little.
100%. Speed is not a huge part of his game and hasn't been for a long time, if it ever was. You can't tell me that this guy's not a valuable piece. And you can't tell me that they can't move. Now, they're probably going to have to retain half, but they can't keep this going. Like, Nashville can't sit here and let this guy... this just can't happen.
That's the bomb waiting to go off, right? Like, they're one of the only teams that's loudly declaring, like, we're going to do stuff.
Yeah.
And they haven't done anything, right? And it's not just about making moves. Like, they're all very significant. And, Alan on Agent Provocateur has talked about how long these things can take. I mean, like, who's helping Barry?
I'll take Stamkos half retained for future considerations, Barry.
Well, this is the thing, right? Like,
how else? I mean, his stat line.
What I meant was not executives on other teams. I meant who in Nashville is helping Barry complete these things. Nonis was considered the architect of the Phaneuf trade, even though Brian Burke was the GM. But, like, who is on Marchessault duty? Who is on Stamkos duty? Who is on O'Reilly duty? Who is on... Please don't all say the same guy, because that's probably not good.
No. If any of those guys were centers, they'd already be Montreal Canadiens. I'm just saying.
Probably. O'Reilly.
O'Reilly for sure.
But they have fans.
Yeah,
so
that's gonna be a
he's
problem.
Like nervous.
So does Nashville. They just don't have the same media concentration.
Right.
And that's the thing. Like, I look at Stamkos, 26 games, 7 goals, 3 assists.
It's bad. I was going to say, it's not disastrous.
Could you put a Steven Stamkos on a Chicago Blackhawks? Could you put a Steven Stamkos on a San Jose Sharks? Could you put, like, on a team that, like, Toffoli's been fighting an injury all year, I think, in San Jose. Could you get him cheap, get him into San Jose? He's got cup pedigree. You've got studs. He could probably play on the second line if he's not playing on the first line. He's centered by, Will Smith. Could you not rehab his game in a scenario like that? I know Mike Greer's not. I mean, Mike Greer's no fool.
I think I've suggested this before, but is there some world where a Line A Stamkos flip works? Not necessarily 1-for-1,
but Line A's deal's expiring and Stamkos isn't.
Which would obviously be super appealing to the Preds.
But Line A makes more money than Stamkos this year, so you'd still have room to maneuver.
His cap hit's higher.
Yeah.
He's hurt. But, like, you're talking about two players they have one skill set that is all world, and there are very obvious deficiencies elsewhere. The difference is the remaining years on Stamkos' deal.
There's no way if I'm the Canadians, I want Stamkos on the books for $8 million next year and the year after.
Me neither.
No,
that's a non-starter for me.
You can't.
Like, I'm about to get rid of 8.7 in Line A and just have $8.7 million. I'd rather have that this offseason than have Stamkos at 8.
Which is valid. It's valid. I'm trying to because he makes, what is it, 8 or 8.5?
8 flat.
8 flat?
For this season, next season, and the year after.
It's a hard deal to move. And if I'm the Preds, I suggest something like that because I think that's a way better solution than friggin' retaining half. But like you said, Montreal would have obvious concerns.
If he was in San Jose, Adam Gaudette is their second line right winger right now. I think you could make that work.
Yeah, but does San Jose want a 37-year-old Stamkos?
Is he 37?
Well,
by the way,
by the end of the contract, he's 35 right now.
Just because you can afford something doesn't mean you should.
I'm just saying, with him, it makes sense to go to a place with young centers and young pieces that has Stanley Cup aspirations. You got to put him on a young team. And if it's half retained, if it's $4 million, then it starts to make sense.
Yeah.
There is something to be learned from Steven Stamkos, gold medal winner, multiple cup winner, captain of those cup winning teams, one shift in the Stanley Cup finals and scores a goal and then leaves. Like this guy, there is things to be gleaned from somebody like this.
Are the Preds smart to keep half on the books for the next 2 years just to get rid of it and gain whatever assets back?
I think so. I think you got to get the $4 million off the books and just cut your losses.
It's like 12.
I know, but what I mean is $4 million per
10.
season, and you're going to rebuild. This didn't work. You're going to rebuild.
Yeah.
So if you're going to rebuild, get the money off the books. If you're going to rebuild, you're probably going to have to retain money on other deals, like San Jose did.
By the way, O'Reilly, captain of a cup-winning team, won the Conn Smythe. Stamkos, captain of a multi-cup winning team, scored 60 goals. Marchessault was on a cup-winning team as their smallest player, won the Conn Smythe. And these guys all made the wrong choice.
Yeah.
So it should give you something to consider when you look at a guy and you look at their pedigree and you just carte blanche go, they know what they're talking about.
Yep.
All these guys missed the boat. And I'm not saying they don't know what they're talking about. I'm just saying everyone whiffs.
Yep.
And
well,
they did.
What about this? Blackhawks. Oliver Moore is playing second line right wing. Andre Burakovsky is playing first line right wing. I don't know if you mess with that first line. It's been pretty good. But Stamkos next to Bedard sometimes, or Nazar next to Bedard, or sorry, Nazar next to Stamkos.
I think this is a situation where you swap bad money for bad money, which is why I went to Laine, because you're looking at teams that are young and have space. And I use that space on the young guys when they need a new deal, and I use it on free agents who aren't cooked or on their way to being cooked. Instead of this, unless you're giving him to me for free, I don't see a reason to do that.
Here's another one.
Okay.
And I want to know specifically Jesse on this one. What about Stamkos joining an old team?
Rangers?
The New York mother effing Rangers.
No, there's no incentive to make them older, I don't think.
Who on earth comes back?
I don't know.
You can't move heaven and earth to get rid of Barclay Goodrow and Jacob Trouba and Chris Kreider to bring in Steven Stamkos.
No, that doesn't make sense for them. You got give me some other options.
They need to score goals.
Counterpoint, yes, you can. Your owner's crazy.
Yeah.
I think it's more likely Panarin is moved somewhere else at the deadline than Stamkos comes in.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think he's going to resign there?
If they stink, I would try and get all the assets in the world for Panarin.
Okay.
Because then you're paying this guy, $13 million next season or for the next 7 seasons if you want to keep him, and you're probably better off knowing that this doesn't work anymore and getting everything you can for Panarin. So I don't think Stamkos is a fit in there.
Here's what I would do. If I were a smart, wily GM, because this year you're not allowed to double retain on a trade. So if I was a smart, wily GM, I would get Steven Stamkos at 50%. And I would try to deal him away, because you still have enough time right now, at $2 million come the trade deadline. So you try to get his stats up, put him on your top line, and I think it's a 75-day rule or something like that. So if you can plan ahead, you trade him in March.
That's something I could see the Sharks doing as a facilitator.
Yeah. And if you're going to facilitate, you better do it now.
See, this is better than trades are hard.
So much better.
This is way more fun.
Okay, I'll give you guys another team. I'm just throwing shit at you. This is fun. What about the definitely Stanley Cup winning Colorado Avalanche? Ross Colton is currently the right winger next to Landeskog and Nelson. Can you imagine a world with Landeskog, Nelson, and Stamkos?
Some teams should load up to provide missing pieces. The Avalanche should not touch it.
Just leave it.
You're so good that you just leave it. Do not touch it.
Jesse.
Although, did Wedgwood get hurt last
Yes,
night?
he did. I don't know how long.
That's maybe a fly in the ointment.
Jesse, what do you think?
Stamkos to Colorado? No.
You don't like that fit either?
No.
So there's not a lot of great fits is what we're saying.
No. He's not a desirable asset. Oh. Somebody will do it. Like, somebody's going to do it, and we'll see how. I assume it'll go well. You'll get a bump on a new team and everything, but there's not a lot of fits.
The Preds should prioritize guys you're actually going to get something for. Like, Michael Bunting might be a more
Marchessault, I think you get something for.
What?
I think you get something for Marchessault.
He makes
5.5, I think.
less, doesn't he? Oh my God.
It's a lot.
Stamkos also 11 away from 600 goals.
Wow.
I know we're celebrating 1,200, but I feel like 600 goals means a little bit more.
I think it does.
When he hit 1,200, he became just the 53rd person to do that, tying Dino Ciccarelli, who is in the Hall of Fame. I mean, this is going to be a first ballot guy, I think.
I don't think that's even a question.
It is not.
Yeah.
But
I'm glad you brought it up.
sometimes people forget.
He's going to get 600 goals. Yeah.
Marchessault, man, if you need a good bastard winger in the playoffs, Jonathan Marchessault is your guy. And I keep wondering too, like I look at the Nashville Predators, I'm like, why is Brady Shea's name not out there? Is that not a puck moving defenseman that everybody kind of needs?
Is he not signed for a long time?
He is.
And like he just signed it.
Yeah.
So
well, consider
it didn't.
Brady Shea signed for $7 million until 2031. I don't think there should be an incentive to move him.
Here's a question we need to ask. What do you want? What do the Preds want?
Well, they're rebuilding, I think.
What are you trying to be? Yeah, but that's not a thing. Rebuilding is the state of your team.
Mm-hmm.
What are you rebuilding as? You know?
Oh, what's your identity?
Yeah, a house got knocked down the street and they're rebuilding. Okay, that could be an apartment building. It could be a hot dog stand. It could be, what are you making?
Yeah.
Are you trying to be fast? Are you trying to be big? Are you trying to be mean? Are you what attributes do you value for your organization? What do you prioritize for your organization? And like, okay, here's one. For rebuilding, you almost never completely tear it down to the studs.
Mm-hmm.
You keep guys. Who are those guys? What skills do those guys possess that are top half of the NHL? What got them to the league? What about those players makes you want to... I don't know what the Preds are trying to be, like, even kind of.
Mm-hmm. That's why you keep Yossi and Forsberg, and everybody else goodbye.
So Yossi, okay, so you're trying to be like high octane, right?
I think.
I guess. And handsome.
Yep. That too. I don't know, man. I think Barry Trotz's got to go before they figure that out.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
well,
now,
this is, I mean, the subtext here is, do we let the guy who created this mess clean it up?
Who's a franchise legend and is hard to fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No stream tomorrow night?
No stream tomorrow night. And we are wrapping here, right?
Yeah.
So, no stream tomorrow night, but Steve will be back on Saturday. Crazy. And I'll be in Kitchener tomorrow with Rick Westhead doing a chat
tomorrow
at the Kitchener Public Library. Yes, sir.
That'll be very interesting.
So we'll see you then. Anything else to add?
I love you.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.